just finished a hike. I wanted to record some ideas on this mini Rizuku course that I wanted to create between now and Christmas. And there's a couple different angles that I've been considering. And where I am right now with my energy is really wanting to work from a place of calm and peace, and where I am, which is, I was profoundly affected by listening to Pema Chodron this morning about how to cultivate fearlessness by turning toward your fear, and becoming friends with it. And of course, this is similar to what I heard Christine Caine say very briefly in that call about the way she cured herself from depression was to just face every fear of failure and survive it that she'd ever had. And that, of course, completely turned my thinking around. But this, now I have a deeper understanding of the energy of it, which is one thing she said that was that hit home for me was, if you are to cultivate fearlessness, you need to understand the nature of your fear. So you have to be able to touch it and let it go. And so often with fear, or things that are quote-unquote negative that we're trying to get around, again, trying to get beyond it without going through it, we don't want to touch it. We want to talk about it, or immediately change it to an affirmation and be positive without really going up close to it, or we fondle it. So it's really this interesting energy of touching and letting go, familiarity, but not necessarily this intimate attachment that we fall into. So we either have these extremes of attachment and fondling where we cannot get out of it. We talk about it incessantly and we can't move through it because we're just mired in it. We're stuck, or we're so far away from it. We're so involved and attached to our avoidance that we're unable to name it. Therefore, it continues to have power over us. So the energy around this holiday thing, I realized that I was attaching a little bit to my avoidance. I had not considered the alternative where I was able to go into a situation and learn, as Sally Kempton's article showed me, that there's an opportunity actually to practice when you put yourself into that situation. And when I recall the August visit from my parents, that was a huge practice without my knowing it. I wasn't prepared for it. It just kind of came gushing out and everything turned out fine. But whoa, I was unprepared. But I luckily had some self-care practices that I could turn to, and some boundaries that I was willing to set so that I could give myself that space to touch what I needed to touch so that I could let it go. And I touched a lot that weekend, and I think it really helped me. And by not going back for Thanksgiving, I'm missing that opportunity to touch some additional things, which is okay. So I'm okay with that, because I am gaining the opportunity to practice being okay with my preferences, being okay with my solitude, and being okay with where I am in my process. For what I recognize for Christmas is that the opportunity to go to the next level is to name that fear and be able to come in contact with it without getting too involved in it, and to stay as the observer of it, to use it as an opportunity to become more familiar with it, and to practice a different energy of observer and detachment, and find a greater self-love there, to recognize that as part of me also, that I need to honor, that I can't only honor the self that I want to be, I must honor the self that I have been as well. Thank you, Iyanla. I am not all of who I am. I am all of who I have become. I am not, but who I am is not who, anyway. There's a quote there from Iyanla that's really great about including all of who you are in who you are, who you believe yourself to be, and honoring that as your journey rather than trying to just pick the parts that you like and focus on the positive. It's not enough. It's not a complete picture. It's not wholeness. It's not true healing. It's pretty much painting over the top. So here's the titles that I was thinking of for the course, and the two things that I heard from Denise were Holiday Hell, and from Mary, How to Love the Holidays When You Hate Your Relatives. None of that really, I don't want to use hate or hell in my product names. So one title I came up with was, I kept thinking 12 days of holiday sanity, daily doses of something. Then I thought, restore your own sanity, how to find joy amid holiday craziness and overwhelm. And then there was the gift of sanity, how to find your own joy in the midst of holiday craziness and overwhelm, which would apply to any reasons that holidays cause you craziness and overwhelm, not necessarily your family. It could be all of these sort of obligations and expectations about decorating and holiday cards and parties and wardrobe and socializing and all that stuff, and gifting, oh God. So there's a lot of topics. It doesn't have to just do with family. But it's all about, I think, finding your own source of sanity and defining it for yourself. And the levels I want to work on are self-care practices, so really starting with yourself before you start to blame and imagine scenarios. Looking at your thoughts as creating your reality, and then this energy, the energy of the observer, and how to practice the energy of the observer as an opportunity to transform situations. So that's my idea, and I just want to record that. Beautiful day, beautiful hike. Loving it.